Hello. Welcome to another episode of Into the West Comics. We scrapped the whole playbook because
to say the least.
a lot of stuff has happened in the last couple hours. Sonny is here,
Hey, what it do?
and we brought backup because
Yeah.
we needed all of our we needed extra energy tonight to get us through all the stuff that's happened in the last couple of hours. Lots of announcements the last few hours, Sonny.
Oh man, I think we got Disney blew the lid off. I think we got Marvel is trying to what did they $1 more that we have to pay for all this content
For the plus, $1 more for the plus.
This is crazy.
Take all of my money.
I agree. I agree.
You're hearing the voice of George Lucas.
Hey, friends.
In the
He
building.
returns.
What up, Donovan?
Hi,
Donovan
guys.
is here. Paul is here.
What it do,
What
baby?
Guys,
boys are here.
I don't know where you want to start, but we want to talk a little bit about last week's episode of Mandalorian.
Yeah, eventually we'll talk about that. There's too much stuff.
Okay.
What do we do?
Okay. Let's talk first about all of the Star Wars announcements that came. They're just a couple of hours old that we're still processing. Donovan kept looking at me because I'm still kind of like in a daze.
Yeah, you have this look on your face still.
It's
Yeah,
like
believe
deer
it.
in the
eyes are
headlights,
glazed
man.
over.
We don't know what to think. All of this. This is like Disney was like, "Oh, you want all of it?" We're like, "Yeah, sure." They're like, "No, like all of it." And we're
Well, I
like,
think- and-
okay.
like we were talking about, we can't go to the movies, we can't do anything, you know what I mean? So I think the plan was, let's just release all this content. At least they know they have something to look forward to. I mean, I would love to go to the movies, but I would much rather kind of have all this content right now. All the
Yeah.
stuff that they list is crazy. How do you feel about it, Paul?
I feel like exactly the same as you guys. It's so much to take in, and I'm like, oh, I'm excited about this. Oh, I'm excited about this. Oh, I want to know who's going to be the freaking Fantastic Four. Is
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves going to be the Silver Surfer? Is he going to be Galactus?
Right.
Who's going to be, you know what I mean?
It's a lot to take in.
Yeah.
It's a lot to take in. I think if we're just talking Star Wars itself, what did we get? Like 15, 12 projects or something like that?
So there's, I think there's like 10. There might be 10 plus series announced with regards to Star Wars or Lucasfilm.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Because
some
there's an
quote-unquote
Indiana
Lucasfilm.
Jones project, and then we have multiple Star Wars projects series. We have the Patty Jenkins film Rogue Squadron.
Yep.
That's going to be taking place in a couple of years.
Yeah.
Patty Jenkins, of course, a Wonder Woman director. So we think that she's going to do a great job with that.
I agree.
She is a big Star Wars fan. So who isn't right now?
Right.
I mean, a big Star Wars fan. So much stuff to go over, and I don't know Paul. What are you looking forward to the most of the stuff that was announced today? Of the 15,000 different projects that were announced today, what were you most excited
All
about?
right, I think if we're going to break it down, I took a bunch of notes because holy crap, it's a lot. But all right, so if we're going to break it down between like the Star Wars and the Marvel things, the thing I'm looking forward to the most from the Star Wars is the one I kind of know the least about, the Acolytes television show.
Mhm.
And I was looking it up, and it's about like Sith fanatics who came about a couple years after the Battle of Yavin and Darth Vader killed Palpatine.
Okay.
And they're like obsessed with like artifacts like Darth Vader's lightsaber and stuff, and that sounds incredibly interesting to me.
Mhm.
Something that I would go into knowing very little about, which usually doesn't happen with stuff like this.
Right.
So I'm so excited for that. And then I mentioned it at the beginning. I'm so excited for the Fantastic Four. I want a
Dude.
good Fantastic Four movie so bad.
I think we all do.
So bad.
If we can
Yeah.
get John Krasinski, I'll be really stoked. I don't know, at this point, they have the money to do whatever they want and to cast whoever they want. They know the fans want Krasinski. I mean,
Yeah.
and if we do Sue as his wife, Emily Blunt,
Emily Blunt.
they have good chemistry already.
It'd be perfect.
They're literally
be
They
perfect.
have good chemistry. Yeah.
They're married with
Yeah.
children.
Yeah.
So
But they don't talk the entire time like in a quiet place.
Right.
That was a
They don't speak.
documentary.
of what
Yeah.
was going on in
Yeah.
2020.
Yeah.
Those are their kids. Oh.
It's amazing.
But no, seriously. So if we're talking strictly Star Wars itself, bringing everything into continuity, I think we probably we get Obi-Wan next, I would assume.
Seems like it's the farthest along.
Right. What do you think is after that, or what do you think? Because they didn't give us any dates. We have no idea what any of this.
No,
stuff's
not
coming
really. The Andor series, Cassian Andor series that's going to be taking place. It seems like they're moving along with production as far as that goes.
out. Okay.
They had a little snippet of an interview with Diego Luna talking about all the moving parts. It's going to be a 12 episode series.
Okay.
So it seems to be moving along as far as production goes.
Is it a limited series or is
It's
it
a limited
Yeah,
series.
okay.
I think it's only 12 episodes and then it's done.
Okay.
Like I
like
think
that.
the
I like
Obi-Wan series is only like 6 or 8 episodes
Mhm.
and then that's it. There's not multiple seasons. And we got something else. I know regarding regarding the Obi-Wan series.
Yo, go ahead. Talk to him.
Someone is going to come back and be involved in that.
What have I done?
Do we have the higher ground?
Hayden Christensen
You
will be
underestimate
reprising his
myself.
role as Anakin / Darth Vader.
10 years after the Revenge of the Sith Chronicles, everything that was
Yeah.
going on, so you get to see a little bit. I guess he's comfortable being Vader. I don't know how comfortable you can be wrapped in that.
And that's
metal
the thing that
can.
I'm most excited for on the Star Wars end of thing. Bad Batch is going to be great. I think it's
Yeah.
going to be a lot of fun. I think the show that you were talking about is going to be awesome. But Obi-Wan, we're getting Ewan McGregor
Yeah.
as Obi-Wan.
Yep.
Probably on Tatooine,
Mhm.
looking over Luke. So do we cast a little Luke in there? And
I didn't even think about that. That's true.
I mean,
Well-
do we see that? And then so they're having Hayden Christensen come in, and so he's going to have the Darth attire on. But I would wonder a couple things. One, he's going to have his armor off at some point, and maybe we're going to see some dialogue between him and Emperor Palpatine while he's in a bacta tank,
Mhm.
or maybe they have a fight and the part of his helmet gets knocked off, like it was in Rebels with Ahsoka.
It's
Oh,
there's-
there's endless
There's
there's
so many
endless
things
possibilities
that could
go
happen.
down.
And then the one thing that stuck out to me right when I heard that it takes place 10 years after Revenge of the Sith was the line in A New Hope when he says, "Last time I saw you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master."
Ah.
What is it that they were?
you're gonna see a whole different version.
So do they? Are we going to see like the end of the series them fighting again? Like, is there going to be like?
Possibly.
So that's what I'm really. And then I mean, Ewan McGregor. Yes, Alec Guinness was like the original guy, but for me, and I think for most of us here at this table, all of us here at this table, it was Ewan McGregor. Like
Agreed.
he was the one that was like our Obi-Wan.
Our guy.
Like
No.
so
Well, you see him in multiple films. You see Alec Guinness, and then you see Alec Guinness's ghost.
Right.
In these
right.
movies.
His real ghost.
His real ghost.
Yeah.
In these movies.
So yeah, for me, the Obi-Wan series is the most intriguing to me as far as expanding the Star Wars universe.
Okay.
I would like to see something that happens after the sequel trilogy we just had to
Mhm.
further the Star Wars universe along instead of expanding it. Like, how could we expand it instead of going this way? How can we expand it going
Go forward.
that way? Like,
Right.
I
because
see
that.
that.
To me is
No, I see that.
is key.
I like that.
So Obi-Wan, that's what I'm excited. And Marvel, I can't even wrap my head. Still haven't seen the Loki trailer. I haven't seen the new WandaVision trailer. I mean, Fantastic Four, like you said, Paul, we were all really excited about this. And then having John Watts be he did Spider-Man Homecoming. I don't even know where to begin. Like,
No, I get you.
literally- I was saying
We're all in the same boat.
No,
man.
I get you.
we were saying before the show, I pull up in my car and Frank is there and Frank doesn't even say hi. He's like, "Hey man, okay, so this came out just like 7 minutes ago and it's all happening. It's all happening right now." I'm like, "Yeah,
Dude,
this
we
is
sat
insane."
down before we even hit record. It
I didn't
was
say hello to Donovan.
it
We started
was
yelling at each other.
4 minutes, dude. It's
Nonsensical
fantastic.
phrases.
that's what me and Quan did. I was
don't.
Did you see? But I thought it was this, but no, it's this. And then there's a whole thing of this. It's crazy. I think once we found out that there was going to be an investors meeting, I knew they have the suits. They have to see something. You know what I mean? You break out this list, and they know.
Well, this is the ultimate form of one-upmanship by Disney. They said,
Yeah.
oh, HBO, okay.
Okay, Warner Brothers.
Yeah, everyone's talking about you last week.
What's
Everyone's
up?
gonna be talking about us for a much longer time.
I
Yeah.
wonder what
Yeah, that's
Disney
true.
stocks are going to be tomorrow morning.
Oh, they're going up.
Oh,
They're
big,
going
big
up.
time.
They're going up.
Big
Because I know
time.
this is a huge finance show, so I wanted to make sure.
Just that the stocks are going right.
Yeah.
You know?
We're gonna check the market in a little bit. You guys had mentioned those shows, but we have many more shows that were Star Wars related.
Yeah.
We have the release date for the 3rd season of Mandalorian.
Okay.
We do have a show that we've been watching right now and obsessing over that's going to be ending next week, and the season premiere of the 3rd season of Mandalorian is going to be Christmas Day 2021.
Oh wow.
They announced the
Yep.
actual date for it.
That's really cool.
So that's
Didn't
pretty
know that
cool
one.
to find that out.
That's pretty cool.
We have to wait longer.
We do. But as far as these other series, we're going to have a Lando series. We
Yeah.
don't know if this is going to be an ongoing thing or this is going to be a limited series. We're going to have something that is going to be along the lines of the same timeline as Mandalorian.
Yes.
We're going to get the Rangers of the New Republic.
Yes.
And then we're going to be getting the Ahsoka Tano series.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that we talked about these movies that Rosario Dawson is signed on to do.
3, right?
Yeah. So are these series going to be connected? And then the events or whatever they do, are these going to be the films that she's taking part in?
Well,
I mean, possibly.
There was something I read. Filoni was talking about at the end of the last time we see Ahsoka in Rebels, Clone Wars, excuse me. It might not be in the same timeline we think. That could possibly be after the events of The Mandalorian.
Right.
When we see her in the animated, she could be already have seen the Mando. She's already seen Baby Yoda, Grogu. He has a name now. So it's really interesting to see how they're going to play all this live action stuff and to see what in the line or timeline things are going to actually be.
Yeah, I think that going forward, I mean, they've got us. They've whetted the appetite.
Oh, for sure.
They have us like our heads buzzing because we don't know which way to go right now as far as what's going to be coming down in the next 6 months or a year's time.
What a time to be
We were
alive.
also focused on. We were like, okay, well, there's definitely going to be a Ahsoka Tano series, maybe a Boba Fett series, maybe something like that.
I
But
did not know
they just
all of
threw,
this was coming.
And
I
they
mean,
didn't announce the Boba Fett series, so Boba Fett may still be coming later down the line
Yep.
as
Yeah.
far as that
I
being
have
announced.
a theory on that when we get to the Mando
Okay,
stuff.
all right.
Okay. Speaking of,
Speaking of, we can do that right now.
let's
Yeah.
get to the Mandos.
Get into it.
We're just gonna go around in circles of all
That was a
this
really
stuff.
short tease.
Well, because
Oh,
like,
here it is.
it's just the questions come up like we're literally reacting to it right
now.
And
Well-
then he's talking about Obi-Wan, and I'm like, well, at the beginning of or in A New Hope, when Darth Vader's like, I haven't felt this presence in a very long time. So in what capacity are they going to interact in that film? And it's like, see, we're just going to go around and around. But
And Paul
Mando,
gave me
anyways.
something to think about too when he was mentioning the acolyte.
Acolytes.
Acolytes.
Yeah. He
What a
gave
cool
me an
name.
idea about what that could involve and a potential character from one of the comic series that could be involved in that. But go ahead, Donovan, please.
All right, so I didn't get a chance to respond last week to Ahsoka. I mean, Rosario Dawson knocked it out of the park.
She was great.
I mean, it was so good. I mean, everything. We got Thrawn. Thrawn is still around. Where is Thrawn? Oh, God. I'm so excited. And we got to know who Baby Yoda's name, Grogu. What
It's
a
hard.
great name.
It's hard. It's hard to top that episode. I think
But they did.
it was real easy after I saw what was going on.
Dude, and then her talking with Grogu through their mind, and he was there during Order 66, and he was a
Absolutely.
youngling, so it means he saw all that, and it was just really, really well done. And then we get to this week. Holy smokes.
It was like so action packed, and it was the shortest episode of the season or so far, 33
Yeah.
minutes.
Sonny texted me after where he's like, that wasn't filler, was it? I was like, I don't know how anyone could think that was filler.
I said the same thing to him. I was like, that wasn't a filler episode, right? Absolutely,
Absolutely
not.
not.
No,
There's-
absolutely
and there's
not.
so much to unpack with that. Now, we talk about Star Wars behind the scenes. We know that Pedro Pascal has had some problems on set, hasn't really been enjoying his time being there. He's been out of filming because the other stunt guys have been there doing that. And
It's a lot that because he doesn't have to show his face. you know what
Right.
I mean?
So I'm sure he wants to show his face, but this is a bold suggestion, and I'm sure that there's other people that are saying the same thing. But I think that the Mandalorian, I think that we're going to see Pedro Pascal's Din Djarin get knocked off at some point, and Boba Fett will be the new Mandalorian that we follow, because the Ravenclaw has been destroyed.
The Razor
Razor
Crest.
Crest.
Whatever.
The Ravenclaw.
Is, Harry
Hey
Potter.
guys, welcome to Harry Potter.
Sorry,
We'll get emails.
yeah,
Pump.
bring them on.
Yeah.
But I think that
They'll be okay.
it's not out of the realm of possibility
No.
that Boba Fett will be the Mandalorian, because it's
a good one.
confirmed that his father was a foundling. Jango Fett was a foundling and brought up by Mandalorian. So
He is a
in theory,
Mandalorian. You know what I
he
mean?
he's a Mandalorian just like Din is. And I don't know what's going to happen, but they really
That's yeah.
We'll see.
Enough with the crazy stuff today. All right, let's do a normal little chill podcast. All right,
But that's I could totally be wrong. It's very possible that I'm very wrong, but that's just what I mean.
Well, I would
Bold
counter
prediction.
to that and say I think the way the Mandalorian series has been moving in a lot of ways, it's moving towards Din being able to remove his helmet.
I
Yeah.
hope
So maybe Pedro will get what he wants in that he'll be able to actually
could see
be
that.
the character in that way because Bo-Katan and even now Boba Fett, none of them are wearing their helmets and they're
Right.
taking them off whenever they
you could be a
want.
normal human.
And basically that's what Bo-Katan
That's
said.
such a
They were
great
like,
point.
you don't
That's
like
true.
you don't have to do this.
It's great
And
character development too.
That's probably what Pedro's probably pushing in the writer's room too, if he has any push there, which I'm sure he does. But
I hope they don't knock off our Mandalorian Mando. I hope they don't knock him off and make Boba the thing. I hope that we do get our own Boba Fett series. Which
yeah,
because
because they didn't
really
rely.
cool.
They didn't release anything about that. That
No,
wasn't a
no,
part
no,
of.
No.
But I mean, if they did do something, I would love that as well. I mean, because I think we all know when he put that armor back on, when he looked at the ship,
When he
and
looked at the ship, I knew exactly
"Here
what
we
was
go.
about to happen.
Yeah.
here we go, and then he popped up and he did his thing. I was like, I can't believe what I'm watching. He's totally been redeemed. He's totally been
It was
redeemed.
nuts.
Okay. So the episode started. They get to this. They get to the stone.
mhm.
Grogu gets placed on. All right. He actually successfully sends out the beacon. No one we didn't talk about that.
Yeah.
So
We don't
whatever
know
else
who
was-
he talked to, but he made contact with someone.
All right. You want to make this show longer? Who do you who do you think he reached out to?
Who did he reach out to? Child Protective Services.
I was so upset at the way that they were treating Grogu, but I'm like, he's 50 years old, so he's fine.
He's an
handled himself.
He handled himself perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who? Okay, let's go around the room.
the little handcuffs.
Who do you think he reached out to?
Paul.
I think it's gonna end up being Ezra Bridger.
Okay,
think
without
that's what-
going too far into
No.
it, who do you think he reached out to?
Luke.
Jeez, who do you think he reached out to?
I think it's probably Ezra.
Mace Windu.
Yeah, we all knew you were gonna say that. Yeah,
That's not
I like that.
That's not. These are all very possible.
He didn't die. You didn't see the body.
Right.
You know what I mean? It could also be. I've been reading a lot of online stuff. It could be Cal, the guy from the video game.
Oh, Cal
Fallen Order.
Kestis.
Yeah.
Oh, and just to touch on this very briefly, there's I've actually started playing through that game recently,
Mhm.
and there's little like meditation areas in that game
Yeah, there
that
is.
look exactly the same as the Rock did when it was sending the beacon out for Grogu.
Hmm.
So that's possible.
Little touches there.
Look at you, Paul.
Look at that,
Atta
dude.
boy. This is great.
And all of these options could be true. They could be all. I don't know. I'm trying to think of who else could show up other than everybody we just named. I think the next episode we're gonna get, it's gonna be Bill Burr returning.
Yep.
They're gonna be I don't know, getting like an Avenger style team. Everybody's gonna get together and go rescue baby Grogu.
I felt like it was kind of like Ocean's 11. or
It
something.
was,
Like
yeah,
he
dude.
got all these
Totally.
people together.
Little heist action.
You got Fennec. She's like the sharpshooter.
Right.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Boba Fett.
Boba
You got
Fett's
everybody.
like old, and he's got like his jammies on, and he's got his like armor on over his sleep shirt
Yeah.
and everything. He's just like I was just waiting for him to have like some slippers.
Right.
something.
He's like, hold on, no, I got it. I got it. No, we still good here. I got it. Hold on.
I can't wait for. I mean, these last two episodes are going to be ridiculous.
I think so.
Some of the producers and I think Filoni were saying that, these last three episodes are going to feel like, because he saw the reaction that everybody got, obviously, when Ahsoka debuted in episode
Mhm.
5. He said the last three episodes are going to be a roller coaster ride.
Yep,
for
you have
everyone.
no
Yeah.
idea what's in
Yeah.
store for. Oh, this is so great.
And I'm like, is there gonna be a point where Boba realizes that it's not the Empire, it's the First Order? Because
Right, because he's been gone for so long,
Yeah,
just on
he's-
this planet, chilling. It's not the same thing. When he came, and shout outs to Boba Fett trying to do his I'm a new guy. I'm not this bad guy anymore.
Uh-huh.
Going through his new path.
I tell that to the stormtrooper he smashed his face in.
Totally like Raul Rodriguez.
Dude,
yeah,
without
that
a
was
doubt.
awesome.
yeah,
His fingerprints were all over that.
Yeah.
It was great.
That was
For
awesome.
sure.
Yeah.
When he flew up, I'm thinking, just kind of hopping all over the place. I'm thinking he's gonna give Mando the ship, because when I saw the ship,
Very
initially,
possible.
I was like, oh man, after the Razor Crest was done, it evaporated. The only things were to survive were the Beskar spear and the little
ball.
the ball, Baby Yoda's thing.
A little on the nose.
Of course, you knew that was going to
Yeah.
happen.
Do we think that Boba Fett might die by the end of?
That's a possibility
It's
too.
possible.
So that he gets Slave One, and then that's that.
That's
But-
his like redemption.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, that's like totally.
my only gripe with that would be we've been waiting so long for Boba Fett to come back.
Yeah,
So
it's like-
long, and just to kill him 2 episodes
You've
after
been
he's come back.
you've been back for 2 months
But
and you're
that
just
means
gone.
that means we
Yeah.
probably get more kick. Can I say the A word? No, kick butt, or kick ass. I don't know. I try to be good. Well, he's probably going to kick absolute tail the next 2 episodes. Then
Yeah.
I think if he is going to die by the end of this,
Yeah,
we're going to
he'll
see
be
him
going hard.
he'll go hard in the paint.
I agree.
Well, you got to show you like a little bit. You had some flashes of what he was capable of doing.
He actually
yeah.
finally did
He
something
He had
like,
the armor.
in
And we-
live action.
And what I loved about it is that he got to use some of his Samoan culture with the staff that he used.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I love that he got to incorporate that too. I thought that was a very,
It's a nice touch.
very nice touch.
Nice touch.
Okay.
Whew.
Where
We
we
haven't
go
even
from-
gotten to Spider-Man
Need to
yet.
take a breather for a moment. We're gonna cleanse the palate for a moment. There's some other news that we got besides all of the 57 announcements today. In the last couple of days, we've been hearing for about a week and a half, 2 weeks, about people they put rumors out there,
Mhm.
and now it seems like the rumors have kind of materialized as far as this Spider-Man 3
Yeah.
that Electro had signed back on a while back, or not Electro, but Jamie Foxx had signed back on. Yesterday, we heard Alfred Molina is going to be coming back as Dr. Octavius. That Andrew Garfield is going to be coming back.
Yep.
That
Kirsten Dunst
Kirsten Dunst, Tobey Maguire officially not back yet.
hasn't signed the contract.
So this is my question for you guys. Is this more of an Endgame type of feel to the Spider-Man series? They're trying to make it just such a huge film. Is this something for them to kind of galvanize Tom Holland as their go-to Marvel
The
guy?
guy. The guy.
And
Yeah.
some people that we haven't heard, we heard that possibly Charlie Cox is going to be involved in this, playing Daredevil.
They've been rooming around it, and I think it's confirmed, but they don't want to say anything.
They don't want to
Yeah.
say
You know what I
officially.
mean?
One guy that we have not heard as far as being attached to this that I thought was kind of like a no-brainer. He had his own film a couple years ago. We're in the Sony-verse. Tom Hardy,
Yeah.
Venom.
Yeah.
He's not included in this yet.
I think he probably is. It's just one of those things that they're gonna put in, and
Well,
you don't see.
it seems like they're still getting contracts together and figuring out. what
Yeah,
they're
man.
doing.
It's a
We
lot
gotta-
of money.
It's a
Secret
lot of money.
Invasion. We got all kind of stuff going on. There's no way they're gonna not capitalize on Tom Holland eventually putting on a black Venom Spider-Man suit.
Or maybe they're saving Venom for. Don't want to get past this movie, but maybe they're saving Venom for an individual film with Tom Holland. Once they champion Tom Holland as their Spider-Man, then Tom Hardy will come in the next film.
It's just there's an endless. Sorry to cut you off. There's
No,
just
you go.
endless possibilities of what they can do.
We know that Jared Leto has come out and talked about Morbius being a part of the Sinister 6. He's
Mhm.
gone out and said, yeah, they're planning like this big
They're-
thing
they're
that's
planning
going
something huge.
with that. I'm excited for Spider-Man. I think you're right. I think they're going to definitively go like Tom Holland is the Spider-Man. He is going to be gone. Like we're going to, because we really didn't get true closure, especially with the Amazing Spider-Man movies.
No,
Andrew Garfield's, we didn't get, that didn't
No,
go
yeah.
to its full potential. And then even after Spider-Man 3, there wasn't really like a solid closure that we were like, wow.
Well,
What
Tobey
a
Maguire
trilogy.
had agreed to come back for a fourth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it was all because of Sony and Sam Raimi kind of having a falling out that
Yeah.
it didn't happen. Kristen Dunst, she was on for it too.
Yeah.
So
He
I
went
mean-
vegan.
what?
He went vegan, so probably a lot of stuff changed.
That's probably what it was.
You nailed it.
You change,
You know,
your,
I'm
you
like-
change
Exactly
your
what it was.
You
diet.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My,
Some
my
stuff
friend
changed.
Doug said something to me yesterday. I was like, what would you love to see out of the Spider-Man movie? And I'm going to quote him here, and this is just perfect. He said, I'd like Peter to grow up a bit. I feel like he got the confidence he needed in Far From Home, and he's not a little kid anymore. I want a Sinister Six. I want him to have to protect Aunt May. I want him to get out from Tony's shadow. Let's kick off the next phase of the MCU and make Spider-Man a boy wonder genius kid that makes his own gadgets too. I want him to never say Mr. Stark again.
Okay.
That's fair.
And I was like,
fair.
Because that's one of the biggest complaints about Tom Holland's Spider-Man is that
He doesn't make his own
Peter
suits?
Parker's a genius.
Yeah, dude.
All his stuff is his stuff.
Yeah.
He's made it.
yeah.
But he's been handed everything from Tony Stark at this
Right.
point. And
Yeah.
I love Tom Holland, and
Yep.
we're gonna get to our favorite Spider-Man here in a minute. But that's the biggest complaint about Tom Holland, I feel, is that he's doesn't seem to be quite the genius that he actually is in
Right.
the comics,
And
or
we
that
only got-
Andrew Garfield seemed to be.
And we only got two sort of like genius things that he did, and that was like rewired the suit,
Mhm.
and then in Civil War when Tony's like the textile things off the charts on this thing. That's really
Yeah.
the only glimpses we get
The
of him being a
webs, yeah.
genius.
Yeah.
Oh, other than him being in class and answering the questions when he wasn't paying attention.
but-
But it still doesn't do it
Yeah.
justice.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't, because even like I don't know. I was gonna say leeway into favorite Spider-Man guys. The 90s Spider-Man animated series. He was a genius. He's making all of his web shooters. He's doing all of his stuff. Everything is. I mean, even in the new game, you craft all your suits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you have to, and it makes you feel. I don't know if it makes me feel less of Spider-Man, but like I don't know. I want him to do more.
Yes.
Mhm.
I think they're definitely bringing these guys in at different age / time periods
Mhm.
to try to do a segue. Like them saying that they're gonna have Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in this movie is like amazing. Like we're geeking out obviously about it, but you don't know in what capacity or in how much of the film they're actually going to
Yep.
be
It can
in.
be
Because
5 seconds.
it's,
You know,
it's
what I
a
mean?
lot for you to try to do this transition and also pay them their credit in the film,
Right.
and make it a Sinister Six film and make it a Spider-Verse film.
Right.
It's like you're going in a lot of different directions, and I just have a feeling that we're going to be like kind of overstimulated
It's
So
very
do you
possible.
think-
all the
Sony's
stuff they're
done that
trying to
before.
throw
You guys think-
into this.
Do you guys think they're doing too much?
So here's
it
what
feels like it to me.
I have
but-
a small theory about what
Yes.
the purpose of the other two Spider-Men being in this film, and it's because you remember where we left off in Far From Home, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone knows who Spider-Man is,
right.
and so you get two different people who are Spider-Man in there, and that could be a way you try to resolve that, and then they have their own adventure from there.
It's
They end up
fantastic.
in there,
I like
and they
that.
figure out how, and then yes, Sonny.
No, keep going. I got one. No,
but
I got
yeah,
one.
So I think that's going to play a big role into them covering up that Peter Parker is in
Yes.
Spider-Man. This guy's Spider-Man, and then Andrew Garfield's going to be like, "But I am Peter Parker." And
Right.
It's like, you know what I mean?
And you
I
could
think-
have them show down without having Tom Holland involved in it.
Yeah, he could be
Yeah.
watching.
I like that.
I
and
really
he's
like
in the
that.
crowd, and they're like, "It couldn't be him, but it could." Who are these two?
Okay.
I like it.
Paul.
So
You're welcome.
if everything does happen and he does need a lawyer, I think that's the perfect fit in to get
Good old Matt Murdock.
Charlie Cox.
get
in
him
there.
Charlie
Cox.
Cox,
Yeah.
Matt
Yep.
Murdock. I would think it would be cool if we don't even get the devil, we get the lawyer. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And it's just you see Charlie Cox.
And he could mention
And the thing about
something about
Do you
the devil of,
If-
yeah.
of Hell's
or whatever,
Kitchen.
and just kind of mention it. Not
Or do you have
be
a
in
public
costume.
defender? I have nobody, and he walks in, and we hear like the tapping
Yeah.
of a cane, and it
'Cause-
slowly pans up, and it's him.
All of his
How cool would
monologues
that
when
be?
when he's doing his lawyer thing and he's just super, he was like, the justice of the city and blah blah blah.
it's just as interesting as when he's freaking
Daredevil.
It
You know what I
is.
mean? It
Without a
really
doubt.
is. So if you just see him like, don't worry, Mr. Parker, we're here with Murdoch and Nelson to take, and the movie could end like that, and that would be just enough
That's
for me
very
to be,
cool.
to me
Dude.
just be
That's
like,
very cool.
okay, this is how he's sorting out his problems,
And then it could be like
this-
a John Grisham movie. The
is
next
great.
one could be a John Grisham movie and
This is
have him defending Peter Parker. That could be the name of the movie.
The Spider
defending Peter Parker. Yeah,
Yeah. I'm.
that's the next.
I would love to
show they're
see-
gonna announce on Disney Plus.
What is it? The
The defending Spider-Man show.
I love it. I would love to see some sort of loss happen with this Spider-Man. We haven't really seen him
Little drink
lose anything other than Tony, which was like okay. So the other ones I would love to see Tobey Maguire Spider-Man die somewhere in the beginning.
Wow.
oh man,
That way we're like, whoa, what the heck? Like this is true loss here. And Andrew Garfield says like, yeah, I know what loss is. I lost the love of my life. You never know what you.
So is that why she didn't confirm to come in? She doesn't need to come in.
Yeah.
She doesn't need to come
You-
into the movie.
Wow.
she also likes getting paid too. So
Yeah,
I
that's true.
imagine
I love that. The only thing that makes me unsure of it is because what I've heard is the reason Tobey Maguire hasn't signed on is because he doesn't have a lot of screen time. So maybe that's what they're planning on doing, and he's like, "No, I don't want to die. If I'm going to be in this, I want to
I
be
just
in
think
this."
it would be so good for the story.
And
Like, for the
I agree,
story,
totally.
and then Tom Holland ends up losing his MJ, so it's a little bit of mix of both, like from the series, and then afterwards we see at the end of the movie him at the grave of his MJ, and then Kirsten Dunst walks in and she goes,
Dude.
"I know how you feel." Like, could you imagine like the power of that? Like, it would be.
Chill.
It would be so good. Like, it would be so good to see. Like, the reason why we
Wow.
love these movies and these stories is because we've all felt lost before.
Yeah.
We've all felt someone we've loved.
We've all been bitten by spiders.
We've all been bitten by radioactive spiders and climb up walls.
So I could relate to
yeah.
everything, man.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's like, what
And then
was
Miles Morales shows up. There. Boom.
what was the best part of the Amazing Spider-Man 2?
The end.
When Gwen Stacy passes away, and it's because
How
that.
hard her head hit. No, I'm kidding.
No, but no. My point being, like,
So
we
morbid.
identify with stuff like that, and that was by far the most gripping part of that movie. That honestly wasn't very good, but
It wasn't that great.
But I want to say this: from seeing a lot of the reactions from people on Twitter and stuff like this, we talked about this last week. Getting butts back in seats in theaters. I see a lot of people with the sentiment that this movie will put their butts back in a theater seat.
Oh yeah. If they release some kind of trailer that teases not everything but just enough of what's going on, it's gonna make you go to the movie theater. I'm gonna go to the movie theater.
It's going to be so fun with the three of them interacting, even if it's just for a bit. Like,
With the
wait,
three of
you,
us.
Like,
Four.
wait, you make your own webs. Like, yeah, us interacting, yes. But you're like, oh wow, you make your own webs. Like, I've never had to make my own webs before. Like, help me understand. Like that, all that dynamic is. Just, I'm really excited. I don't even know where.
Well,
to
just that they're comparing notes.
well,
Yeah.
It's like, what
Are
did you
they-
do when this happened?
are they gonna be pissed that Tobey Maguire doesn't have to make his own webs?
That's interesting. Yeah, that's weird.
see. Like, there's so many things that like, gosh,
Did you like that? Was that like
I loved it.
that he was able to
It was
generate webs through
It
his
was a
brain?
weird
It makes sense
puberty
'cause
metaphor.
spiders-
At the time, it was a big thing
Yeah.
for when the movie came out.
I didn't mind it just because spiders, like, they don't have to go, oh man, how am I going to swing around? Like, it's literally in their DNA to make spider
this is
webs.
True. This is true. This is true.
So, do we want to get to who our favorite Spider-Man is? Because I'm kind of itching to talk about it.
Okay,
Oh
so
yeah. I mean, this episode is. We had a layout, and there's
there's
nothing.
everything is out the
Yeah.
window.
You know what I mean?
Favorite Spider-Man?
Go ahead.
Favorite Spider-Man actor, I'd say
Number
is
one.
Tobey Maguire.
Okay.
Just because he had the look. Probably because I'm biased because he was the first, I guess. But he had the perfect combination of he didn't look like a kid,
Mm-hmm.
and then he still, you could see some actual like raw emotion, the stuff that he was going through. He fit the part really well.
Even after he was dancing.
The dancing, I don't care for.
You don't say.
I didn't.
just-
I didn't.
just saying.
I wasn't a huge fan of that.
No.
Yeah, but I like Tobey Maguire a lot.
Really? Because everyone else was.
I thought he was a great Spider-Man. And I thought he was a good Peter Parker.
Mhm.
I think it has to translate well for you to be able to play Spider-Man. Like, we've had this conversation. Anybody can be Batman.
Got to be Bruce Wayne.
You have
too.
to be Bruce Wayne too.
Bingo.
And I think that Tobey Maguire is a really good Peter Parker, and he's a really good Spider-Man. He has the comedic element to him too, that
Yeah.
he could still kind of be playful.
Mhm.
And a lot of things with Tom Holland, and Paul kind of touched on a little bit, it's just like the constant like, oh, I don't know if I'm experienced enough. I don't know
Right.
if I understand.
Right.
It's like,
Like,
oh,
by this time
oh
you should
golly,
be.
I don't get it. I don't
You should
understand.
be. You should
Yeah.
be totally experienced.
You fought Thanos, and then you're coming back to your movie like,
Like,
you're
I don't
coming
know
back-
how to
it's like,
put this
oh,
into
I
the-
don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a klutz or
You
something.
should be
It's-
fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Fair enough.
Tobey Maguire.
Paul, where you at?
I think I'm gonna surprise you and contradict myself a little. Tom Holland is by far
It's my number
my
one.
favorite Spider-Man, easily.
It's my number one.
And the reason being is because you have Andrew Garfield, who I think is a better Spider-Man. And unlike Batman, I think you actually need to play Spider-Man, because the difference between Spider-Man and Peter Parker is Spider-Man, he feels free. He's able to be the jokester, the outgoing person he really is because he feels like himself when he's there and
Right.
he's able to do all the things he can really do. And then when he's Peter Parker, he's introverted and he's like awkward and super awkward all the time. And I think Tobey Maguire is the best Peter Parker, but I think the best of both worlds is easily Tom Holland.
Yeah.
And I do agree with what you were saying about he comes back from Thanos and it's like, well, you should feel a little more like prepared for things like this.
Right.
But at the same time, Peter Parker's always Peter Parker. He's always a goof and he's always like
It's true.
kind of like what is it called? Like stumbling through everything and like accidentally achieves whatever he's actually trying to do
Right.
a lot of the times. But I think Tom Holland is the best of both worlds and I think like
Yeah.
what kills me for Andrew Garfield is exactly what I was talking about being introverted. He's the coolest freaking dude when he's Peter Parker.
Yeah.
How could you not love that guy?
Yeah.
Like it was like Doug when Stacy fell in love with him. He's the smoothest guy on the face of the planet.
Right.
That's not why Mary Jane falls in love with
No,
Spider-Man.
not at all.
But that's what happens with Andrew Garfield.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Tom
Okay.
Holland
I like that.
easily for me.
100% what Paul said. Tom Holland is the guy for me. And what really did it for me was in the first one that of Tom Holland's was that the part where he gets behind Flash's car and
Mhm.
he was like, haven't you ever driven before? He's like, no, I've never driven a car.
Right.
That's Peter Parker. That's
Right.
the Peter Parker I remember reading
Right.
when I was
Mm.
younger. Like he's a 15-year-old kid who
Yeah.
doesn't know anything.
Doesn't know anything about real life stuff, but all the nerd, computer, all that
Right.
stuff, he's a
Bingo.
genius.
And as far as like him fighting Thanos and all that stuff, and then him being naive to Mysterio, that's a 16, 17-year-old kid who just lost a father figure, then
Mm.
sees this guy who's like the man, and he's like, oh
It's
yeah,
a deep
like
dive.
yeah, no, it's a very deep dive.
You're
but,
right.
But he sees this like father figure, and this
No,
guy's like, I
seriously.
believe in you, and like, yeah, it's okay. And then he's totally naive, and he's a
Yeah.
16-year-old kid.
Yeah.
We see a shift after
Absolutely.
Mysterio dies, where he's like, I'm not falling for this again. And then J. Jonah Jameson saying Spider-Man is Peter Parker, and then he's like, what the like? He's a kid.
Yeah.
And I agree with you 100%. It's the best of both
that
worlds.
fits like the building block of
Okay.
the.
Go ahead.
And then Andrew Garfield was way too cool. Like, Peter Parker. Like,
He never. He just never. He never convinced me.
that's an attractive Peter Parker. I don't
Like,
see why
what?
these girls are like running after him, man. He's like, yeah. The whole basketball fight with him and Flash. And everyone's like,
Yeah.
oh, and he's like wearing like super like great clothes. I was like, this guy's got swagger, man. This guy's got it going on.
That's
like,
not Peter Parker.
This is not Peter Parker.
Which I kind of enjoyed, but it's not Peter Parker.
No.
No.
Not
So
at
that's so Tom Holland for me, and then a very very close second is for sure Tobey
I
Maguire.
agree with that.
I think, yeah, I agree with what you guys are talking about. But a little throw off is the animated, the '90s animated series.
Wow.
Spider-Man actor was who I first learned. I mean, dude, we're talking about Daredevil. That's when I first saw Daredevil like interacting. Was him coming into the series.
Yep.
First time you see Punisher.
Yep.
Punisher's super crazy, old school costume. I think, yeah, I would have to say Tom Holland if we're just talking live action or whatever. But I really, really didn't enjoy Tobey Maguire dancing as the Venom.
So
I think that ruined it for a lot of people.
okay, so a couple minutes in one film threw you off for three
For
films.
3 films.
Just checking.
Well, because when I saw the third one,
Wow.
because when I
Just
There's a
checking.
little hostility
check-
there.
I
just
love
checking.
it. I love it.
When I saw it, I was like, one, this isn't Peter Parker with the Venom symbiote. Like, chill, okay?
No.
And then I'm like, who wrote this and who said that this was okay? Like, this isn't okay. And then I saw them make fun of it into the Into the Spider-Verse movie, and I was
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
Redeemed
I'm like, oh, this is perfect.
for
This
sure.
is great.
Absolutely.
This is great. So I don't know. I think if I want to say my favorite all-time Spider-Man, I forget his name, but the guy who voiced the animated Spider-Man, just because the adventures that you see that Spider-Man go on have still gone way past anything Tobey Maguire or Tom Holland have done.
So one more thing I wanted to mention about Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, and Andrew Garfield that sold me on Tom Holland is 9 times out of 10, Peter Parker is depicted as a 17, 16-year-old kid.
Mhm.
Tobey Maguire was clearly 30 years old, and Andrew Garfield was clearly in his
I checked.
mid-20s.
He is
Right,
40.
right.
He's like 45.
Right, right,
45, yeah. That's
Got a
good
baby.
point,
It's
Paul.
true.
Yeah,
Tom
that's a
Holland
good
was like,
point.
oh, you kind of look 17.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like when with Andrew Garfield, it's like, and Emma Stone, it's like, why are these two people in their mid-20s graduating high school? Are they okay?
Yeah.
Is everything okay? I don't believe this too
No,
much.
it's
not a lot going on up here, huh?
That's
Uh,
great.
That's why he's so smart. He's been there for 10 years.
That's why-
he aced 10th grade.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's 10th grade. You did it 14
On the
times.
third try, yep.
Right. Wow.
I saw a tweet that said, "So wait, I have to watch Spider-Man 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 1, 2." I was like, "This is great.
Yeah,
this is good."
You have to. Don't understand what's going on here.
To understand
I
all
think
the
I sent that tweet to you guys,
Spider-Verse.
didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah,
In our
there
group
we
text.
got it.
Yeah. Okay. Jeez.
Okay, so later on, after all those Star Wars announcements that we got some more Marvel-related plus news that was still coming in. We've made reference to it. Guys, of all the stuff that you saw, what was the thing that, maybe you're still processing everything you saw, but of the stuff that you saw or announcement that you got, what was the biggest news for you, Paul?
Black Widow.
Black Widow, which, by the way, they said they're going to stick to their guns. It's going to be theatrical. They're not putting it on Plus.
Whatever. Go, Paul.
Oh, wow. My turn. No,
terrible.
I think it's I'm super curious as to what the freaking Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special is going to be.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
Fun.
it's Fantastic Four and Secret Invasion. Those are the two
Same.
that I'm most excited for because I'm really curious what they're going to do with Secret Invasion because the description was like it's Samuel and Ben Mendelsohn or whichever the actor,
Yeah.
whichever
Mhm.
Australian
That's it.
actor that is,
Yeah.
are going to be the main
Paul
character.
Hogan.
Crocodile Dundee and Samuel L. Jackson. But
That's not a Cree.
all right. But no, I think I'm super curious to see what they do with that, and I'm just so excited for the Fantastic Four. I just want there to be a good one, please.
They will.
Yeah.
I think they will.
I think with the money that Disney's able to have, if you pull in John Krasinski, you get a good cast to support, you get a good script, and then you have Keanu Reeves come in as Silver Surfer. You have like an insane movie that could last 3 different.
And come in with a plan because the problem with the last Fantastic Four movie was it looked super cool.
Yeah.
But it was clearly had too many chiefs in the room saying we want this to happen, we want this to happen, and it resulted in freaking the Invisible Woman having different color hair in like
Garbage.
adjacent scenes because they did
it was pretty bad.
reshoots and this and cuts and that, and it just didn't stuff was not in the trailer.
It wasn't good.
Yeah.
It wasn't good.
Very bad.
That was a bad movie.
Have you seen Green Lantern?
That's a bad movie too.
Yeah.
That's a really bad movie.
It's up there.
What's the worst comic book movie you think you've seen?
I think that Fantastic Four one has to be
Which one?
Catwoman.
the most recent one. The one. Never mind. I stand corrected.
What did you say?
I forgot about that one.
Catwoman. Yeah,
Catwoman.
Catwoman's the worst.
Catwoman's pretty bad.
When
dude.
who's her co-star in that? They're playing one-on-one.
Sharon
I don't
Stone.
remember.
Sharon Stone.
Oh no, it's the dude.
I don't know. That's
Um,
Halle Berry, man. I don't know.
Halle Berry.
Uh,
Halle Berry
I don't
and the
remember.
dude they're playing. But it's the worst scene I've ever seen in any movie. So
Pretty
bad.
bad.
That's
It-
a bad one.
That's a bad.
I think
movie.
you might be right, bro.
Blade Trinity sucks pretty bad too.
It's weird that Ryan Reynolds is in a lot of bad movies. And he's
There's
usually
a lot
pretty
of good movies too.
Triple H is in
X-Men
Blade
Origins.
Trinity.
Triple H is a vampire with a puppy
Yeah,
in Blade Trinity.
that's right. And he hits him with the pedigree.
Yo, and he has silver fangs.
Yo, I'm
and
a
it's
wrestler-
a little cheap. It's a little like
I'm
Chihuahua.
a wrestling fan, man. So you can't.
What? What is happening? What is the?
This is the day we're having.
This is the day we're having.
I like how
We're
Sonny
all-
started out being the guy trying to reel us all in, and now he's over here.
I'm like, yo, I don't know what's going on.
We're all.
Let it
It's,
happen.
it's all unraveling.
Let it happen.
Donovan, what was the big announcement to you that stuck out that you're like
Ugh.
you're the most excited for?
For Marvel, right?
Yes.
I would have to agree with Paul. Like Fantastic Four is like
Mhm.
we've all been waiting for Fantastic Four to show up in the MCU, because this means potentially Galactus.
Yeah.
This means we actually get a real good Von Doom. Like, come on, like can we get let's get with this. Like, let's go. I'm so excited for this to bring us into the MCU.
We're not
and-
getting any of that stuff in the next couple of years.
We haven't even mentioned
Yeah.
Kang the Conqueror yet. There's been
Jonathan Majors
Yeah.
playing King the Conqueror.
Ant-Man, what is it?
It's called the
Quantumania?
Quantumania.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd
Ant-Man
have
and
to
the
say that.
Wasp.
And then out of the Plus series, I'm so excited for WandaVision.
Yeah.
House of M is one of my favorite stories ever, and I think they're gonna really kind of delve into that storyline for this. And it's right around it's January 15th. I think
Yep.
that show is going to
Should be.
set the tone
Should be right
for
around the corner.
everything that we're about to see happen in the Marvel universe. So for me, WandaVision, and I think that Paul Bettany's vision is so wonderful, and I felt like we didn't get enough of him.
I agree.
So I'm very excited about that and potentially what happens. And then, yeah, Fantastic Four. I mean, I know we all want John Krasinski and Emily Blunt, but I mean, maybe this is something we could save. But for casting what ifs for Johnny Flame and thing,
I
like,
haven't even thought about
I know, like,
No.
well, we don't even like begin to think. And
I've
then
got
even,
somebody for the thing.
and
but
then
John Cena.
and then,
I was gonna say The Rock.
oh no, he wouldn't do Black Adam. He's the
Yeah,
Warner
he
Brothers
can't
now.
now. He can't now.
I thought the same thing too, but
But he's doing a Disney movie with Emily Blunt.
It's
He's
the
doing
Jungle Book.
he's
Jungle
doing
Cruise.
Jungle Cruise.
Jungle
Get-
Cruise.
get
He's
my
doing
book.
Jungle Cruise with Emily Blunt. He's doing Jungle Book.
he's playing Mowgli. Yeah. So those two, and then
Wonderful Mowgli.
Von Doom. Like, if we get, I mean, Doctor Doom. Like, are we gonna get a good like?
Who could play Doom?
And then of course Doctor Strange, the multiverse. I
Adam
mean,
Driver.
I don't even know where to begin with all of this stuff. Adam Driver.
Wow, dude.
Dr.
Whoa. I
Paul, what are you doing?
I don't know.
I could see
I don't
that
know where I'm getting
happening.
this all this.
Can you
from.
imagine Adam Driver? Fantastic Four need to be taken down.
We know how
Fire.
he looks with helmets
Fire.
on. So
Right.
Everything
Yeah.
against that man. Whoa, easy there.
That would be really
Adam Von
good.
Doom.
we're gonna get a shirtless
Adam Von Doom.
Von Doom.
Yeah.
My word. All right,
Going off the rails.
Sonny, what are you anticipating?
The most, other than Black Widow,
Yeah,
clearly, I think seeing all the little small spin-offs, like what is it, like Armor War? We get Don Cheadle's going to be back.
yeah, dude.
Which is, and I really liked him.
Yeah, man. I know it's not Terrence Howard, but
Okay, so
He sent me 37 memes. of-
same.
yeah.
Iron Man.
Yeah.
Yo, listen here, man.
So good. It's so good.
I like. Where did he go? What happened? Because I think he was like a decent character. I don't think he would have been good as a War Machine.
I think he had like a falling out like contract.
He didn't get along with
Yeah.
with Favreau or Robert Downey Jr.
He's like,
So-
I'm out of here, man.
Yeah.
I can't do
I'm
this
sorry.
anywhere, man.
I'm sorry. I opened up this can of worms. This is my
Yeah.
fault. This is my
Anyway,
fault.
back to what we were talking about.
What are you
man.
excited about?
I'm super stoked for like I said, all the little one, like Ironheart, who's taking over all of this stuff. We got like a She-Hulk, which is gonna be crazy. They didn't release anything about Mahershala Ali's Blade.
No.
I forgot
Oh,
about
that's
that.
true.
Yeah.
Had nothing to say about that. So I think deep cut wise, I'm kind of interested in that. You know,
Mhm.
what are they still planning? Do they have a script? Who's going to be directing it? What's going to be happening?
Well,
So
the projects shift around because of the Chang's what is it?
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi is going to be is being fast forwarded. I think the release date might actually get moved up,
okay,
and then Black Widow is probably going to stay theatrical, but
I don't know how
they may move up it. They may move up it. May move it up
May
by
move
a
it
month
up.
or two.
And I've heard reports that the post-credit scene in Black Widow 2 is mind-blowing. Like, it's a
that's
game
the
changer.
that's the reason they haven't released it, because there's something. Same thing with Falcon and the Winter Soldier. There's something involved with these two shows that they can't release them.
What's your theory that that they're going to be? What dots are they connect?
That Taskmaster is really Natasha Romanoff from a different reality that is warning Black Widow not to do anything because she's going to eventually die.
Boom.
I would love to see
Oh,
her somehow come back. Like, it would be cool to see the post-credit scene of her on Vormir. Like, they have an bird's eye view of her, like zooming in on her, like dead.
she
Like,
opens her
And all of a
eyes.
sudden she opens her eyes and it cuts. Like, that would be a game changer. I mean, really cool. It's maybe a little far-fetched, but I mean, if we're talking about a game changer, that would certainly
We're not
be
talking
it.
about anything far fetched, man. This guy has a glove and can alter the
Yeah,
reality.
it's true.
Okay.
That's true.
Yeah. Holy moly.
You're like, was not prepared for that
I
one.
was not. But the one and another thing Marvel has done incredibly again, we were all kind of like, we weren't like, well, we can do without Marvel. We're all kind of
Yeah.
sleep on it. We were like, oh, whatever. They're taking forever to release all this stuff. And
Right.
like, how much did we talk about Marvel stuff on the podcast here and there? And it's like we're mentioning, oh, they
Little
said
bit.
something about this. Now
Right.
we're literally talking about it the whole time.
They're
Right.
smart. They know what they're doing.
And everyone, and you got people. It's the biggest thing talking about on all
It's
social
huge.
media right now.
It's crazy.
What about you, Frank? What are you excited for?
WandaVision, January 15th.
Mm-hmm.
And then Falcon the Winter Soldier. I like their chemistry. The fact that they don't like each
Yeah.
other genuinely is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if the actors care for each other. I assume they do.
Yeah.
As far as I know, as far as the Avengers go, the only actor that they don't like is what's her name, Brie
Oh, Brie Larson.
Larson. The rest of them don't really care for her. But as far as the rest of them, I think they get along for the most part.
Yeah.
But I like. I'm looking forward to that Falcon the Winter Soldier, and WandaVision, because I'm just interested in the take that they're gonna do for it. So, I'm looking forward to that probably the most. As far as all this other stuff, we don't know what the timeline is for how long any of this stuff is
we
going to
have no
start coming
dates,
together.
no release dates for nothing.
They're shooting Hawkeye right now. They just started shooting like probably a week ago. They
Yeah.
started
And those
shooting
behind the
Hawkeye.
scenes shots look really interesting.
So, we'll see.
Ugh.
And
We're
there's,
gonna take-
there's unbelievable almost. Well, there's still stuff we haven't talked about. Like Doctor Strange is going to be in the Spider-Man movie.
Yeah. Like,
He's the reason all of this is happening in that movie.
We
We
actually-
didn't even mention it.
We got some.
Yes, we have something.
I think we have some.
I'm so excited.
we didn't. We were gonna put this
You
in the
haven't
middle.
seen this yet.
I have not seen anything. I
Have you
was
seen
literally dry. I came
The
from work.
WandaVision.
No.
Okay.
I came
got-
from work and drove here. So let's.
We got
do
a new.
this.
We got a new WandaVision trailer released by the time we were all the way on the way over here. So I don't know why I said that twice.
I was watching in my car.
Let's go.
So what's a single gal like you doing rattling around this big house?
Well, I assure you, I'm married to a man, a human one.
Wanda.
What's it been? And I ran while you sleep out the
We are an unusual couple.
Oh, I don't think that was ever in question.
We just don't know what to expect.
Howdy, neighbors. Hey, bud.
Wanda, what's up? Who are you?
I don't know.
I think something's wrong here.
Wanda, can you read me? Who's doing this to you?
Whose voice was that?
This is our home.
Then let's fight for it.
Well, I think we handled that well.
That was sick. Whose voice was that?
This is a TV show.
What?
What the heck, dude? That was so good.
Whoa! Someone was reaching out through the radio. Was that Cap?
It could have been.
Or it sounded
so many
like
questions.
Falcon.
So, like, what
Oh.
reality are they in right now? Or are
We don't know.
It's a pocket
She's trapped in
dimension.
her. She's trapped in her mind.
She's trapped in her mind.
She's gotta be.
That's what I was gonna say. It's got something to do with the Mind Stone. Clearly,
Clearly.
House of M, man. I'm telling you, dude.
This has been.
This is crazy,
dude. This has been fun, guys. What is happening?
So, guys, tonight I'm going to try to take a nap and watch
Oh, and-
Mandalorian.
and-
by
oh,
the
and
way, Mandalorian episode
comes out.
7 is
Yeah.
tonight at midnight.
Jeez Louise.
If
On
you
top
didn't
of all
know,
this, yes, going on.
sorry, guys.
Guys, thanks for being here.
Oh, always a pleasure.
My head's going to be
Sorry,
spinning.
I'm still
My head hurts so
processing.
good and
No,
bad at
that's
the
a
same
good. No,
time.
that's a good way to end it. That's
Yeah.
a good way to end it. You know.
So, next week, Friday night,
Yep.
we have our live show.
be there or be square.
Maybe there's costumes. We don't know. We'll talk about it.
You guys got
Guys,
anything to say?
go read some comics.
Yeah.
Be safe and have a wonderful time.
Okay. What you got?
Just process healthy. Everything's gonna be okay. This is a great time to be living in.
It is. It is. You miss every shot you don't take. Shoot it. We
Oh.
love y'all.
Okay, Deion Waiters.
Boom.